A few weeks ago, I was with my ISTJ girlfriend, and we were just standing around waiting for an event to happen. We were inside this lobby. We had already spent the entire day together, and so there wasn't really much for us to talk about. All the benches in the area were occupied, and so we were just standing there. And then after a while, well, probably only a few minutes, I started to get bored, and so I just kind of naturally started wandering around the room. And then she, being the Enneagram Type 9 that she is, she followed me without really questioning it. But then she managed to give me this weird look that was basically kind of like, okay, so we just moved from there to here. And it was at that moment that I realized, like, well, apparently she doesn't have the same tendency to wander like I do. You know, if there's nothing for her to do, she's content to just stand in one place, whereas I get easily bored if I stand in one place for too long. And I'm kind of thinking that's the difference between introverted sensing and extroverted sensing. You know, SI versus SE. Introverted sensing is subjective, and it's all about past sensory experiences, and SE is about taking in new experiences and experiencing the moment. And you know, if I'm just like standing in one place, then I've seen all there is to see in that one spot. And even if I don't have any reason to believe that there is something interesting in another spot, I still want to be in a different spot than I've been standing. And the other thing about judging types, you know, their primary interface with the external world is a judging function. In the ISTJ's case, it's TE, you know, extroverted thinking, which is, you know, the function that wants to take action, accomplish something. And well, if there is nothing for the ISTJ to do, then there is no sense in moving from one spot to another, because nothing can be accomplished by doing that. Whereas I've got extroverted sensing as my primary interface with the outside world. And so, you know, moving from one spot to another accomplishes something in that it allows me to just take in new information, whether that's useful to me or not. And you know, that small example, I think, can be applied on a much larger scale, in that when you compare the overall life of an ISTJ versus an ISTP, I've often said that I get bored if I keep doing the same hobby for more than a few years, or if I stay at the same job for more than a few years, or if I stay at the same church for more than a few years. And in fact, I realized this when I started thinking about the fact that my ISTJ girlfriend has been doing ballet dancing since she was like 4 years old, and continues to take advanced ballet classes to this day. And that kind of got me thinking about the things that I enjoy doing these days. Most of the things I do these days, I've only been doing for a few years. I'd say maybe 12 years at most in the case of road trips and swing dancing. But like, I've only been into typology for 4 years, been making these videos for about that long. Been a Lost fan for probably, I guess, 8 years ago is when I started watching it. Visiting filming locations of my favorite TV shows, that's something I started like last year. And then sometimes I just may develop an interest in a certain hobby or phenomenon that'll only last like a few months. And then after that I just kind of forget about it. I kind of mentioned this to my ISTJ girlfriend once, and she didn't really think it was that odd. Because like, well, in her case, she admits that it's kind of unusual for her to be as much into a hobby as much as she has, and it just kind of, she sees it as more of a ballet dancer thing than an ISTJ thing. She says ballet dancing has been her constant throughout her whole life. But you know, for me, the concept of needing a concert is something that I see as more of an introverted sensing thing. You know, like I said, it's subjective and it's based on accumulated experiences. Such a person would have more of a desire to build upon those experiences, more so than taking in new information. I don't have as much need for constants in my life. You know, I'm more into variables. I want more variety in my life. Like I said, I get bored if I just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Just like I get bored if I just stay in one place for too long. We could be talking about standing in one spot for a few minutes or living the same life for more than a few years. But I'll just say I am grateful that my girlfriend is open to new experiences. I mean, we never would have gotten together if she wasn't. So yeah, I mean, just, you know, the fact that she followed me from that one spot to the other spot, you know, is an indication that she is willing to follow me in other aspects of life. And at the same time, I know I'm totally supportive of her continued passion for old things, with her ballet dancing. For the record, I have zero interest in ballet, and you know, she knows, she's cool with that. But you know, it just comes down to us both accepting that this is who we are. She knows what she's doing with her constants, I know what I'm doing with my variables, and so, you know, together we can solve some great problems, or something like that.